Hi, hi, and welcome to Molly's Monday Machination for Monday, the 26th of November 2007. As always, you can find the Molly Zine at afl.mollyzine.com, or you can get all the AFL news at fig.aflcast.com. So the news of the week, the main news, I guess, is for most footy followers, is the AFL held its national draft, where rookies come into the system. And as expected, the priority pick and number one pick was Matthew Cruiser of the Northern Knights going to Carlton. The following picks happened in the draft, with Trent Cotchin going to from the Northern Knights to Richmond, Chris Maston from East Fremantle to the Eagles, Cal Morton from Claremont to Melbourne. The Western Bulldogs picked up Jared Grant. Essendon picked up David Meyer. The Fremantle picked up Reese Palmer. Lions picked up Lachlan Henderson. Saints picked up Ben McAvoy. The Crows picked up Patrick Dangerfield. The Swans picked up Patrick Vasavemi. Sorry about that. The Hawks picked up Cyril Rioli. The Eagles picked up Bradley Ebert. The Melbourne picked up Jack Grimes. North picked up Robert Tarrant. Port picked up Matthew Lobby, and Geelong picked up Harry Taylor. That's the first round of the draft. We'll put up some more names on the site, or links to where you can find out the full list. Apart from these players who were picked out, the other interesting players picked up were the Hawks with their third pick at pick 45 picked up Stuart Dew. And Fremantle picked up two more recycled players, Mark Johnson, formerly of Essendon, and Capt Bradley, formerly of Essendon. And the joke's already starting that Fremantle are becoming the Bombers reserves, or mini Essendon. The Saints picked up Fraser Garrick after he had a last-minute change of heart and decided that he wanted to continue his career. With the Roos going to the Gold Coast, the latest on that is that the Roos are going to fight the move. They are trying to get the financial backing, possibly have a few people coming on. James Brayshaw is fighting the good fight in that sense, trying to keep them in Melbourne. It's going to be a hard task. The AFL have come out and said they're not kidding when they said they wanted to stay in Melbourne, and it'll be interesting to see how they go with that. As I say, James Brayshaw is leading the fight, although strangely he is going to Las Vegas for a week, right in the middle of the whole box and dice, with the Roos still with about a week or two to go until their deadline is up. The AFL announced all their different package of 100 million offer to the Roos, but it does look like the Roos will stay. In other news, today the AFL announced that instead of a State of Origin, they're going to actually have an All-Star game for the 150-year celebration. It's going to involve the Vics versus the rest of Australia. Jonthan Brown will captain the Vic side, with Mark Thompson as coach and Kevin Sheedy as an assistant coach. The All-Stars, who will be made up from players from, as the name says, from the rest of Australia, will be made up of captain of Andrew Mcloud, Mark Williams as coach, and Neil Daniher as assistant. It will be held on May 10th at the MCG. There'll be no other football that week, and apparently all the other players will be heading off back to their respective clubs. So it should be interesting to see how that all plays out. Personally, I like it myself. I think it's a good idea, especially if the players get right behind it and has the support of the clubs. If we can get all the best players on there, there's a really good chance that it could turn into a great event, having all the best players out there. There's been some talk about it playing into the All-Australian selection. Apparently squads of 35 to 40 players will be named after round 3. So if nothing else, it will generate a lot of talk for talkback shows and for blogs and podcasts like Molly's Monday's Machinations. So stay tuned and we'll talk about that as the time comes up. So other news out today, Liam Davis from Collingwood suffered a broken jaw when he was king hit at a nightclub. There's no suggestions that he was anyway in the wrong, and he'll be missing training for the next 2 to 3 weeks. And so hopefully he'll be better, and it just goes to show that AFL players really have to watch themselves when they go out these days. On other news in that sense, following up from last episode where I think it was just a post talking about Ben Cousins. He went to the commission, got 12 months suspension or not able to apply for AFL football. It did come out that he would be able to play for a lower league, so the VFL or the WAFL or the SANFL. So there's been a mad rush to try and sign him up going into the future to play for him. The Channel 9's A Current Affair did have a bit of a hatchet job on him tonight, taking videos of him from the Gold Coast, suggesting that he was still out partying, which it didn't look like you could argue with. They tried to pin on him that he was doing, they didn't actually say this, but they tried to pin on him that he was doing cocaine. From my watching of the video, and I'll put it in bed, the video on this post. If you go to afl.mollysinn.com, you'll be able to check it out. Very hard to tell whether he was or was not participating in drugs. So a bit of a hatchet job, but if Ben's going to go out and party, he's going to put himself in a situation where news crews are going to follow him around in a very tabloid manner. The Hawks onto further news, Hawks and Pies recorded profits. The Pies recording $2 million, but the Hawks outdoing them with a $3.5 million profit approximately. They did add in there that part of the profit was made up of the sale of their Linda Crescent Social Club, but nevertheless it shows the importance to them of the move in getting the sponsorship with Tasmania and selling games to Tasmania. Most of that profit would have come out of the Tasmanian sponsorship. Not saying that they wouldn't have made a profit without it, but it was just increased quite significantly. When you consider that Melbourne made a $100,000 profit this year, and that's with some extraordinary funds from the AFL, it really does show that the Hawks are on the right track and can afford to do things like poach away Melbourne's, I think he was footy manager, to become a development coach at Hawthorn. So the Hawks really moving in the right direction. Paul Gardner of Melbourne came out and had a go at the Hawks over the profit. Not really sure what he was getting at. It seemed like a lot of sour grapes. Jeff Kennett did come out and say that he thought the AFL should stop spoon-feeding clubs in referring to North, but it wasn't really much more than anything than what the AFL had already said. So that's the Molly Monday Machination video edition, second edition for today. Come out and check out all the news over at fig.aflcast.com. If you go over and check out that site, don't forget to vote. Helps out the whole community if you can vote up the stories you think are important on the day, and we can really start to get something happening there. Don't forget, if you want to leave me a comment, you can do so on the site, or you can email me at mollyford@gmail.com. Okay, best of luck, and good luck for your side for the preseason. Talk to you in the next week or two. Okay, bye.